Hello, all my deranged fans. Welcome back to the Deranged Reader. Guess what? I'm now up to 10 subscribers. So everybody who has subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Um, oh man, I have had a very interesting. Um, I've had a very interesting um, day, and I'm so glad that my work week is over. Next week I get paid. So before I begin with the sixth day of my Christmas horror vlog, I want to say that I did get the book So Thirsty. I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous video, but I'm looking forward to reading that book. This week coming up, I'm going to go back on Barnes & Noble, or I may do that earlier, and I will just look at what they've got in horror, and I will be getting those books. I'm really considering just making, having, reading a lot of horror on my Nook only instead of my Kindle. I just think that would be a really, really, really cool thing to do. So I officially have 9 days until my baby shows up, so I am so excited about that. And for people that don't know, it's my Nook Glow Light 4 Ocean Teal. This is a smaller Nook, and I do have a case, and I am definitely going to be really eager to see if the case will actually fit. If it does, I don't have to buy a case, so I'm very happy about it. Anyways, so let's start. Let's start. I got. All right. Before I begin, I must. Sorry. I must give a warning. I will be talking about attempted rape. So if that is not your, if that's something that upsets you or anything, you don't have to watch the video. I just like to warn people ahead of time so I don't get a bunch of angry messages about, oh, why didn't you tell me, and all that. So after this one, I will be talking, I will be giving you my impressions so far of that werewolf book that I'm reading. Not tell you anything about it, but just my overall impression of the book. All right, 25 Gifts of Terror, Day 6. It takes place in a place where there's a lot of snow and a lot of ice and a lot of boredom. In all honesty, I don't even know what these characters did in the book. I mean, literally, you have a woman that all she does in this story is write diary entries. I'm like, how in the world is that explain anything? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Oh, by the way, look at this. I gotta clean off the little stickers, but I got this last year. I thought it was really cool. Anyways, so I really honestly didn't like the story at all, and I wanted to move on. Alright, I bought a Haunted Christmas Tree Farm, Day 6. Not really much is going on in the story, just some conversations and maybe a little bit of the presents. I don't really understand. I'm going to be honest, I want something more to happen right now. Um, and everything, because it's like I'm supposed to be reading this book until the 25th of December when I'll get rewarded with something happening. But so far, I'm just like, okay. Then I'll Be Alone for Christmas. I read the chapter 6, and I will tell you something. This author is doing an amazing job with this book, because we're starting to feel we're starting to feel like um like she's really confined to this cabin, and she's kind of feels like that she's being watched, or there's something outside, but you don't see that in, like, with the snow and everything. So the feeling of like there's something out there watching her is like very, very apparent. And I'm like, okay, okay. Um, but yeah, it is just like everywhere. Um, I'm only doing this because I need to get the title of the book. Um, okay, there we go. All right. The Winter Visitor. I read. So the Winter Visitor. I'm at 37% of it. So 25 Gifts of Terror. I'm at 21%. I bought a Haunted Christmas Tree Farm. 25%. I'll Be Alone for Christmas is 26%. So the Winter Visitor, I read chapters 13 and 14. So chapter 13, we're introduced to this woman that name, I believe her name was Sophia or something like that. I know it begins with an S. And she's kind of in this really like relationship with George. And then she kind of like shows up around Christmas time. This is when like their mother and grandmother are not at home. They live in an actual castle, which is insanity. You can tell that they come from like really old money, like money that would have been on the Titanic, kind of old money, and so she stays with them for Christmas. And then we go 10 years later, and I don't know if it's George or one of the other brothers. It's definitely not the younger brother, because he was like 7 at the time, so he's like 17 now. But anyways, one of the brothers goes up to the apartment, which used to be like a storage room, and then it was refurbished at like great cost, and now the grandmother lives up there. she went up there on her own free will, and she's like very like domineering, and she flaunts her money, and she's not ashamed of flaunting her money. She loves being rich. She loves being rich because she can like I have come to the conclusion that when women get to a certain age, they totally ignore how they used to dress. This woman is wealthy, and she has not forgotten how to dress. That's why I said to myself, when I turn in my 60s, I am not walking around wearing a nightgown. No way. But anyways, so I think there's like a huge difference between like poor elderly women and rich elderly women. But anyways, she's very clear that Christmas Eve is when she's going to talk about what she wants to talk about. Alright. Now, the last one is book mail. And this is where the warning comes from. Alright. So, I read chapters 9 and 10. So, I am on chapter 11. And there is a total of 30 chapters. So before I begin with this, tomorrow I will be reading all the way to chapter 15. So that's what I'm going to do with book mail. So, anyways, chapters 9 and 10, including the excerpt from Sexy Lexi's review. So chapter 9 basically has Amanda. Now Amanda is Lexi's friend and only friend. And Amanda answers the door, and there's a detective there, and a female detective, because it's, they're going to visit a woman, and so they had a female detective go. And because of the 15-minute gap in the tape, which confounded even the people that, has happened, this, was directed towards, the police decide, even, it's now been 24 hours, we're going to go ahead and do this. And Amanda admits that she called Lexi's phone, and he answered, which is creepy as shit. And the detective is like, why did you do that? And she's like, I was drunk. Like, that answers everything. She's like, so, that's your answer. Get drunk and then call the kidnapper up. Wow. That has got to be the dumbest thing. And it was great that the detective called her out on it. You are now going to make our job so much more harder. Now, so she asks a very simple question, a simple request. Can I see, about this author? And she brings up his called Flex. I think it might just be another name for TikTok. And there's something really weird about this guy's bio. There's parts of it that is blurred, and this raises red flags to the detective, because the detective does it herself and realizes she doesn't want to have access to this guy's bio. So, no idea exactly why it shows up on Amanda's phone, but not on hers. Now, my theory is that it unlocks when he wants it to unlock. So, yeah. And the feeling that you get from the picture is, I got your friend and I'm doing some naughty stuff with her that she don't like. So she notices that his bio is in another state. And what does that mean for Mr. I want to write another book? It means that the feds get involved. Because anytime you commit a crime and you go over state lines, the feds get involved, because that's their forte. And here's the thing. They don't play nice. They don't. So what's going to happen is probably Amanda's phone is going to get taken, and the feds are going to use their technology to try to locate where he's at, or why the picture is blurry. All right, chapter 10. We get back to Lexi, and Lexi's not in a good place. Like all women that are kidnapped are not in a good place. And yeah, this is when I personally believe, this is when he attempts to rape her. And I will be very blunt. If you guys are triggered by that or upset by that, don't read the book. But I'm not triggered by that at all. And I really want to see if the feds can actually find Lexi before he finishes his book. Because if he finishes his book, Lexi's dead. And that is point blank what's going to happen to her. She's only as good to him while he's writing the book. The moment he finishes it, she's dead. Anyways, I am having a great time reading some horror during the Christmas season, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it a lot. That one I did not enjoy. That section I did, but I will say something. The author does not shy away from what happens to women when they're kidnapped by deranged psycho men, and I do appreciate that in the writing. I really do. All right. So, for the last couple of days, I have been reading Those Across the River, which is a classic werewolf story. I don't remember what chapter I'm on, but I will say that from what I've read so far, like, I came back home, and I immediately pulled out my Nook, and I started reading more of the book. I did finish a non-horror book, and I did a review of that book on my other channel. But I really like how this story is progressing. No idea if he's going to be turned into one, or they're just going to eat his heart. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And because I'm off tomorrow, I'm going to have all day to read this book. Now, if I have to recharge my Nook, I'm pulling out my Nook tablet and I'm going to continue reading that book because I need to see what's going to happen. Now, for people that are new to my channel, because I've got 3 new subscribers, I went from 7 to 10. I got the book So Thirsty. Let's see. Nope. It won't go. Alright. So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This was a $12.99 book, so I did get a stamp because it was like for every $10 you spend you get a stamp. I am 5 stamps away from doing that. I probably will get another stamp because I did no I won't because I use my my rewards money for that. But anyways, so Thirsty, for people that are new, is basically about this woman who goes with like her husband's friend, and basically to forget all about the nonsense that she's going through, and there's some consequences to what happens. And yeah, it's a vampire book. You can tell because the cover art has like a glass with like red liquid and it has like a straw and has like a bat on it, so it tells me it's a vampire. I'm really stoked about reading this book. I definitely want to spend 2026 reading like almost exclusively on my Nook. I'm not really, with my Kindle. Though I will say that I will read, I'll read like a chapter a day on my Kindle books, just so that I don't lose where I'm at in the story. I don't forget what the story is about or anything like that. So I'm really super stoked about it. But yeah, I'm going to primarily read on my Nook, and that means I'm going to be reading for long stretches of time. And also, I think I don't know if I said this in my videos, but the thing about Nooks is that, or like Barnes & Noble, they don't try to get you to do insane challenges. They just want you to read a book. That's all they want you to do. So anyways, so that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a couple of videos. I will be doing a total of like 3 videos. I'm still going to be reading like a chapter a day for I'll Be Alone for Christmas, but the other 2 videos, I'm reading 4 chapters of The Winter Visitor, and 4 chapters including the video missing thing for book mail. So we'll see what happens, and I should have a very clear idea of like when I'm gonna be done with these books. And on the 25th, I will be doing reviews, a video review of both the 25 Gifts of Terror and I Bought a Haunted Christmas Tree Farm. When I finish I'll Be Alone for Christmas, I will do a review of that book. I think I'll be done with it on the 22nd, and the other ones I will wrap up as I finish them up. Okay, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys around. So until next time, stay spooky, stay scary, and continue to read your horror books. Bye.